everyone! こんにちは。Thank you for finding this video. My name is Yuna Sato. How do Japanese study going? Is everything going well? Aren't you tired? I teach Japanese and I also provide level checks consultations for Japanese learners to suggest study plans that are appropriate for them. When I do consultations with students, there are common concerns that I often hear. I cannot remember words. Even if I study hard, I forget them right away. When you learn vocabulary, it becomes even more difficult because you also learn kanji together as a set. Today, I'd like to talk about how to build up your vocabulary together with kanji and how to make it stick without forgetting it. Most Japanese learners who know a lot of vocabulary have one thing in common. That is, they hear a lot of Japanese in their daily lives. They talk a lot with their Japanese friends, or they watch Japanese TV programs every day. Those people know a lot of words. However, they cannot remember kanji characters just by listening to them. And also, they may remember words with wrong pronunciations. Therefore, I recommend watching Japanese TV shows with Japanese subtitles. By doing so, you can connect the sounds and characters in your brain when you remember them. In addition, the content of the TV shows or the situation such as your emotion while watching also help you remember words and phrases. There's no need to read every word on the subtitles. That makes you tired. I just wanted to look at it when you hear something that you want to know how to write in Japanese. Like, oh, I know this word, but I forgot how to write it. Oh, that's the kanji for it. If you see them a lot, they become familiar to you. Some people say don't learn Japanese from anime because some of the anime characters use unnatural Japanese, like too feminine, too masculine, too childish or rude. But that's actually not a big problem. You have your phone to look up the words, and it's fine as long as you know the fact that there is sometimes unnatural Japanese used in anime, which you cannot just copy. Of course, I don't recommend learning Japanese only from anime, but as a supplementary material, watching anime is good to help you build up your vocabulary. I speak in English in basic Japanese lesson videos, but in most other videos, I speak in Japanese and I add both Japanese and English subtitles, and also explanations for words and phrases. The reason for this is I want everyone to get used to listening to and also reading Japanese. I also make those videos because I wanted to enjoy learning new words and phrases. Learning only from textbooks could be really boring. But if you are studying for the JLPT exam or if you want to learn Japanese in a short period of time, you also need a faster and more efficient way to study so that you can learn only the words you need to know at that time. In order to pass the JLPT exam, you need to learn a lot of kanji and vocabulary. Have you ever had the experience of, I tried my best to memorize words, but I forget them a few days later? That happens to me a lot. To avoid forgetting the vocabulary you have learned, using spaced repetition method is really helpful. Spaced repetition is a learning strategy where words are repeatedly reviewed at increasing intervals to ensure that those words are unforgettable. Study new vocabulary words, review before you forget, and again review before you forget. Repeating this process will ensure that the vocabulary is fixed in your mind. As an efficient way to use this method, let me introduce a learning app called MochiMochi. Thank you MochiMochi for this collaboration. This is a Japanese learning app based on spaced repetition with golden time feature. In addition to using spaced repetition method, it encourages you to review the words during your golden time. Golden time is the time just before you forget the vocabulary. By reviewing this time, you can memorize words more effectively. Let's take a look at how to use the app. You can choose the category of vocabulary which you want to learn. One of the good things about this app is that there are so many categories. Most apps only have vocabulary courses for the JLPT exam, but this one has vocabulary for IT, nursing care, and service industry, and so on. This is very useful and helpful for those who want to work in Japan.
足ります
You can check the meaning by looking at the letters while listening to the audio.
足ります
The cute illustrations will help you remember the meaning. If you don't hear the audio well, you can listen to them slowly.
足ります
Of course, you can practice to memorize. There are selection problems to choose the meaning, and word puzzle-like problems to choose letters. It is said that word puzzles are effective for memorizing
足
words.
ります
You can also see example sentences. And you can review what you have learned during golden time to consolidate your vocabulary. In this way, you can accurately grasp the number of words you have learned and how well you memorize these words. The system also analyzes your study history and send you notification so that you can review during your golden time. So even busy people like me can study without forgetting. Also, MochiMochi divides your learned words into 5 levels of memorization. Level 1 are just learned words. Level 5 are words in your long-term memory. It helps you know which words needs to be reviewed more. MochiMochi has high rating of 4.5 on the Apple Store. People who have actually used this app commented that it was really helpful for increasing and consolidating their vocabulary. The cute illustrations and bright colors give you a good and positive impression. And you can learn Japanese as if you are playing a game. If you are bored of learning only from textbooks, if you want to learn in your free time, if you want to study words with kanji, pronunciations, and example sentences, if you want to focus on studying your target category of vocabulary, or if you want to learn vocabulary more effectively, then this app is for you. Everything I talked about in this video is my honest opinion as a Japanese teacher and as a language learner, but I know that everyone has different thoughts. So try this app, see how you like it. Please see the description for more information about the app. I have previously introduced some other Japanese learning apps. So if you haven't seen them, please watch those videos as well. I want you to put your Japanese study into your daily life. Some people completely separate Japanese studies from their daily lives. They work in English-speaking environment. They have conversations and watch TV shows in their languages. And then they use Japanese only when they are having Japanese lessons. If that works for you better, that's fine. But if you feel that your Japanese is not improving as much as you'd like, then you should increase your exposure to the Japanese language. Even if it's hard to make lots of Japanese friends to have conversation practice with, you can watch videos in Japanese and you can use learning apps on your way to work or anytime you are free. Or write a diary in Japanese. The more expose yourself to the Japanese language, the more familiar it becomes to you. I've had many consultations with students who are struggling with learning vocabulary and kanji. As a language learner, I know how it is stressful to keep forgetting what you have learned. I hope this video is helpful even a little bit to support your Japanese learning. I'm here to help you enjoy your Japanese learning. Thank you so much for watching. ありがとうございました。